Well, hey everybody, it's time to get back on this project. It's probably been at least a month since I filmed part 2, so that's where it ended. And then I had my shoulder surgery, so shoulder's doing pretty good. Still gotta be careful with it, but it's good enough to get back in the shop. So let's get back to fixing this big lathe. What do you say? So I finished the broach guide. Now I know some of you are saying, hey, that shoulder is not necessary, and you are totally right. I just did it out of habit. You really don't need a shoulder on a tapered, broach guide, because the taper is going to seat it. So got a good fit. The taper walks in just as that shoulder hits the face here, so it's it's right on the money. So cool. There's no reason to turn that shoulder off. So excellent. And if you remember, we turned this inside taper. I did take it out a couple times to test fit it, on the shaft, but I marked this sleeve here, and I also marked the chuck jaw, so every time I put it exactly back where it was, so that way I wouldn't introduce any error. And once we got this right, then we turn this OD, so the OD and the ID should be concentric with each other, which means this pulley should run a-okay. The pulley itself is going to be, I think, a tad bit offset from this sleeve that we're getting ready to press in. Just looking at trying to get the belts to line up. So, that's something we got to play with, try to get the pulley exactly. If the shaft was straight, it wouldn't be a big deal. We could just locate it and walk it down. But since, we got a tapered sleeve here, she's going to walk in and be in one position, and it might not be exactly where the pulley needs to ride. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Once we get over there, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I guess the next thing is just go ahead and get this pressed in. It's not much of a press fit. We only shot for a little bit over a thou. Didn't want to do too much being cast iron, and we really don't need it because I'll go ahead and I'm gonna walk this down with a couple set screws so she won't go anywhere. Don't really want to heat this thing, so I think I'm going to do the old, put it in the chest freezer like I did the bush hog repair. Some of you guys mentioned, using dry ice because it would be a lot colder and we'd probably get a lot more shrink out of it. But living out in the country, in the middle of nowhere, I don't have a source for dry ice, so we'll just have to go with this. And we get to use my new big press, so that'll be cool. We will have to, set the pulley up a little bit since this is at an angle. That way the broach will be able to broach straight and not cockeyed. Well, that won't be a problem. And after we get this done, then got to get a key made because this is a metric key. This is 6 millimeters, and I don't have any metric key stock. And I was looking for an assorted set, like my SAE set, but man, they're expensive and not many people carry them, so it wasn't worth buying a whole set for one key. Do have this 1/4-inch key, so I'll have to take it over the surface grinder, and we'll just grind her down to 6 mil or 236 thou, and then we can hopefully get this lathe back together and running. So let me put this in the freezer, and with the power of editing, you'll see me tomorrow, and we'll get this thing knocked out. All right, guys? Alrighty, let's get this thing done. It's the next day. It's nice and cold. I'm going to hand crank this to get this started because, well, it's a lot faster than the pneumatic. Control it. Since we're also on a time crunch, get this baby in here. Now I'm going to stop just a little bit proud, and then we'll check it, and then we'll do it again if need be. All right. Go over there and test fit it. Hold on, guys. Okay, so we are on. Looks pretty good. Looking at the belt, she looks to be about straight on, up and down. This is what I'm talking about here. See, we don't have much to adjust. That's about as close as I can get her before she's making contact here. I think we got plenty of room for the star washer and the nut, so I think we're where we need to be. She looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see. All right, sweet. That makes me happy. So now we just need to do is go over to the surface grinder and grind that key down. Well, before I go to grinding the key, let's just go ahead and get the keyway cut. So we are all set up. I've got it candied, so the broach goes in straight. I've got a block over here. You guys can't see it under the side of the pulley. I've got her all lined up. Must have got my depth a little bit wrong on the groove there, because she's starting, you know, about a third of the way into the broach, but no big deal. We'll just add a little extra shim if we need to. We've got a plastic trash can down here in the bottom to catch it, and I'm just manually doing it just to see how she's going to cut to begin with. Excuse me. And being that it is cast iron, we really don't need any lube. I mean, you can add some. And when she maxes out, I'll have to add a longer spacer here. All right, going for round two. See, we got the shim in there. Okay guys, got it wrapped up. It is not perfect, I'll admit. I knew I would be close right here on this side, but the key is not going to be right in here. It's going to be right in closer inside the middle towards the end. And this side's a little bit deeper than I'd like. Not sure if because if you remember, we got this level, so we should cut her straight. Not really sure where I goofed up at. So what I'll probably do is when I grind that key, I'll do is probably grind it a little bit proud so she's taller. You know, the thickness, obviously we need to be right at 236, but we can be a little bit taller here so I can get a little more key engagement, and I think we'll be fine. But looks like this was a one-use broach. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but ba-ting! Yep, didn't want to cut, I guess, or that was just some weak metal, and we lost a tooth there. So I guess this is a one-use import broach. Oh well, it did what it needed to do, so that's good. Well, let's get over surface grinder and start working on that key. So I'm not sure if it's just dumb luck or what. So I've got the key in. I ground her down so she'd fit in there. Got a good fit. Now, unfortunately, the keyway is too large. I probably shouldn't have put the shim in there, but like I said, dumb luck. So I have not even ground down the key. So that's a 1/4 inch key tall ways, and it fills the oversized keyway that we broached just perfect. So maybe Bozo is being nice to me today. So look at that. So we're golden. Can't beat that with a stick. So excellent. Well, let me go ahead and get the belts on. We'll get this baby locked down. You know, thanks to McMaster Car. I picked up one of these Star locking washers, if you can see that. And then I've got this nut, kind of a nylon lock nut. And there you go. Plus it's got the sides here for the spanner, so you can get her nice and snug. 25mm, 1.5 pitch. Where else are you gonna find this except in Master Car, right? Man, I love those guys. So let me get this buttoned up, the belt's on, and I'll bring you back when we hit the power switch. Okay, moment of truth. Power is on. Contactor's on. Here we go. Ha ha! Nice. It is so much quieter than before, because obviously that dry pulley was slapping around on that tapered shaft and it was just making a racket, and then of course it was getting amplified through the gearbox. So man, that is sweet. I am glad this worked out. Woohoo! Well, as that, I went ahead and put new belts on. Figured might as well go ahead and do it. I have fresh belts from the start. And since I've been in the headstock, I haven't bolted down this top cover yet. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it all out and put fresh oil in, so that way we're starting from square one on everything. And then of course put the covers on and we'll be ready to make some chips. Well, there you have it, all wrapped up. Hope you guys enjoyed the 3-part series. We've got a lot of stuff going on there in this repair, with a lot of lathe work, boring it out, making the tapered sleeve, making the tapered broach guide, and then just some quick milling, finishing up the guide. Some broaching. Didn't have to surface grind, so that was cool. Just had to modify the key a little bit over there on the belt sander. But I'm pleased that I finally got this thing wrapped up, man. It was making a racket when I first turned it on. I was like, oh, great. So, somewhat of an easy fix, a little bit of a challenging fix, but hey, we got her done. So I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you hanging out. Just want to say thanks to all the new subscribers that have found the channel. I appreciate it. And I hope you spread the word, get my little channel to grow. We're approaching that next mile mark of, 5,000, so that'll be cool when we hit that. Until the next video, we'll see you. Take care. Bye.